everybody, welcome back to the Kilted Drama with me, Gary. Tonight we're going to do a little episode of Dining Room Drams, where we normally look at samples and miniatures that I've got lying around. But tonight I've actually gone out to visit my mum, so I'm in her dining room and not my own dining room, hence a slightly different backdrop to the video. And of course, being in somebody else's dining room, the samples and miniature isn't really lying around. I've actually brought it with me. So for tonight's little episode, I've picked up another Ardnamurchan. We've looked at Ardnamurchan before. It's the newish distillery over on the west coast of Scotland, owned by the Adelphi Independent Bottling Group. The previous ones I've looked at before have been their second and third releases. And if you want to have a look at the reviews I've done for them, you'll find them in the videos list. This one that I've brought tonight is called the Launois release. Now, it was a limited edition release, so it's slightly different to their other releases. What I'll do is I'll get it in the glass and then we'll have a wee chat about it. Now, again, this says thanks to Connell from Adelphi / Ardnamurchan, who passed on this sample to me. It's a fair enough one. Again, it's a temporary desk and temporary chair and everything, so it's all a bit different this evening. Now, the Launois release was a limited edition release. From what I can find out, there was about 2,500 bottles of this. What they did was they took 9 casks of unpeated spirit, and they finished those 9 casks in Launois wine casks. Now, Launois is a champagne producer. So in effect, it's kind of got a champagne finish to it. From those 9 casks, they then vatted them, mixed those 9 casks together, and then they added a single, just straight Ardnamurchan and peated spirit cask. So in effect, there was 10 casks thrown together to make this 2,570 or so bottles of this limited release. Just looking at the bottle, it came out at, well, it actually says it, 2,576 bottles, and it's a 57.6%, which on the research is cask strength for this wee dram. So let's have a wee sniff at this, see what it's like. Sounds strange, but I almost want to say there's a sort of sherry influence to it. That sounds a bit strange, but it's got that kind of smell to it. Weird. There is a wine sort of hint in there. Yeah, I'm getting almost a grapey white wine, like a sweet white wine. I could almost, being honest, I drink more red wine nowadays, but I used to drink white wine a few years ago. And it's almost like a really, really strong white wine. That fruity, grapey thing is there. I quite like that. I said 57.6 on the ABV, and I was that's not hitting me on the nose. I can definitely tell it's a stronger ABV, but it's not overpowering. Nice. It's a nice colour for a relatively young whisky. We know Ardnamurchan isn't particularly old. Does it say on the 2014, probably bottled, or I'm trying to think, it was bottled 2021, so we're looking sort of 7 years depending on the month, so about 6-year-old. Let's go for a wee taste. Nice sort of creaminess to it. There's a little burn over the tongue, nothing unpleasant. Again, I'm getting that grapey sort of wine taste to it. I suppose the colour could almost be like a sort of almost a maybe a. I suppose it's a little bit dark for a white wine, but it's got that lightness about it. There's maybe a bit of a grassy taste to it. It's quite fresh. For me, there's almost a bit of a licorice hint in there. Quite a short finish. There's nothing really dragging in at me. That's sort of the top of the nose, you know, when you don't quite go all the way in there. It's quite light, quite refreshing again. It's almost a kind of a light summer type thing to it. There's nothing overpowering. It's really quite light, quite pleasantly light, fruity, grapey. It is really quite like a sort of yeah, it's kind of white winey, champagne-y type thing. There's no overpowering jumping out smells for me, other than grape. Perhaps there's a hint of orchard fruits in there, maybe more so in the taste. Yeah, sort of fresh apple. As you take in a bit of air there, yeah, there's almost like a fresh apple in it. I quite enjoy that. Did I say 57.6? It's a nice, refreshing, pleasant dram. Not overpowering, really quite nice. Can get hold of it. Hey, God knows. I think when it went on sale, it was on sale for in the region of £60–65. Limited edition. There's not many I've seen for sale now, and those that I have seen for sale have jumped up, and they're almost in the region of maybe £180. So it's not always going to be readily available. If you get it and you can get a wee sample of it, give it a nice taste, I think you'll enjoy it. Slàinte, folks. Cheers.